wanted to know if that was the same thing.
Might be, huh?
Might be.
Or maybe there is no affirmative or ether. So you might change your mind because we've been lied to about everything?
Yes.
I'm going to talk to the X guy that's on, what's his name that on X now?
Elon Musk.
Man, he would know. Elon would know. Because his car is still up there. Remember he sent a car up there?
In space?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Did you know about that?
His rocket, yeah.
Yeah, on one of his rockets. Isn't that right? He sent a car to outer space, so it's still up there. It's in that area where white people plan to live and they don't want us to know. White people moving into outer space, they're not telling us, so it's up there somewhere. Save your money. You want to go with the first group. Good morning. Welcome to Fellowship. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you all so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will take on your questions and comments and pass them on to me. All right? How y'all? Good morning again.
Good morning.
I believe this Thursday is 4th of July, right? So no 4th of July meeting because of that. Any questions or comments? Is this your first time? Yes, sir.
What do you say about synchronicities, coincidences?
What?
What do you say about coincidences or synchronicity? Like you think of something randomly earlier, say in the week, and then that kind of
I don't believe that
later.
there are coincidences.
Right. So what is it if it's not that?
It's happening.
Just happening.
Or you're in your mind are thinking about what has happened. I don't think about that. But what was the other word?
Synchronicity.
James, you know synchronicity? And what is that?
It has to do with timing.
Timing?
Uh-huh.
Meaning what?
Meaning like things happening in time together.
Oh.
Like it's God's will almost.
Is that the same thing as the firmament?
Maybe. I mean, it's similar.
Amazing.
Similar ideas.
Do you believe in all that?
Which part? The firmament?
Either one. The synchronicities.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe in it, but I witness it happening, and I'm just wondering why that is.
You witness what?
Just kind of seeing the writing on the wall, like literally. If I'm going through a situation, and I'm observant, looking out my window, I see something that kind of relates to what is on my mind. And I'm like, no, it's not, it doesn't mean anything, right? Like, I disregard it. But then when the truth, whatever is revealed eventually later, that those signs, whatever I saw, were accurate in a sense.
Was this before you smoked the pot or afterward?
It's irrelevant. Like, I know you mentioned when you smoked pot in the past, it made you paranoid and
Yeah, I was hallucinating.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I know that feeling, but it's like after you smoke a few more times, that doesn't happen.
Right, you blank out.
No,
Oh.
not
No,
exactly.
I'm not. I don't believe in that. Oh, I want to say this to the ladies before we get rolling, and then we get to the biblical question. I've been talking to a lot of ladies recently, and it's disappointing what's happening to the women nowadays. I talked to several women who've been married 2 or 3 times, and they were seriously looking for a man that they could rely on, meaning that they were looking to a man that they can trust in and discuss things with, and that would give them answers to life or to situations, because it's in a woman's nature, it's given to her by God in her nature to naturally want a man and want a family, but she naturally want a man that can lead her, that she can talk to and give her answers and things like that. And this one lady was telling me that she had gotten married 3 times, I think, maybe 2, but definitely maybe 2, I think, maybe 3. But all 3 times she thought she was marrying a man that can lead her and that would be able to answer questions and she could rely on for those type of things. And so she married, all 3 times she married mama boys. All 3 guys were mama boys. And what she noticed about the mama boys is that they were weak in that all they wanted sex. But she didn't know that because she didn't know at the time that women were not created to be emotionally connected to sex. Men are emotionally connected to sex, but women are not. They don't feel that at all. But and so she ended up marrying mama's boys, and the last guy she married, he had money. So she figured that this was a smart guy. He had made money, he earned a living, and he'll be able to guide her, lead her. And it ended up being the same thing. He was just a mama's boy. All he was interested in was sex. He had nothing in him that can lead her. And she wanted that. And all women want men to lead them. They don't mean like, it means like answer questions and things that they worry about to show them how to overcome. But this woman says I believe married 3 times. The last guy had a bunch of money. And he was still a mama's boy. And all he wanted sex. And so first I want to tell the ladies that anytime you meet a guy and he wants sex, walk away. It's a mama's boy. Because that's all he think about is sex. When he see you, he doesn't see anything but sex. But he'll lie and say, oh, you're beautiful, you're smart. He'll tell you all the lies you need to hear to draw you in, but do not fall for it. And women, you're supposed to, just as men, you're supposed to overcome being a lady to a woman. And a real woman never, ever, ever seek after a man. Do not look for a man. Don't go to the club looking for one. Don't go to the bar looking for one. When you're up and down, having fun out there in the world, don't look for a guy. I promise you, you're going to always end up finding guys who are just like you. And you don't want that. And especially nowadays, it is bad. All men want is to figure out how to have sex. There's nothing wrong with getting married to have sex. But you got, sex is not supposed to be all this stuff that they're making y'all do, ladies. Sex is supposed to be private, simple, get into bed, have sex, go to sleep. It's not supposed to be all this stuff that the guys are making y'all do. They're making you do that because they're mama's boys and they have the mama spirit and they're very emotional and they can care less about you. So what I want to do is encourage the women, because I don't know if we said enough to the ladies. You got to seek first the kingdom of God, his right way, and he will guide you. If you seek the right way, whether you find a man or not, you'll be just fine. But I promise you, God will put the right man into your life, and that man will be able to lead you in the right way. You won't have to wait on him to finally make the decision, to finally make this decision, that decision. He will do nothing. But if you look for it, you're going to always find the wrong man. It ain't going to work. Because you have a mama's boy. And mama's boys are lost, emotional, and they go to the gym, they work out, they do everything to get a woman to have sex. That's all they care about. And you're disappointed when you run into that. And the last thing, because there's so much I have to say about this now, last thing I want to say to the ladies, from this day forward, ladies, never, ever, ever talk about, do what you want. Never talk about whether you're a virgin or not to anyone. That's between you and God. Because, and I remember when I was hearing these stories, I was saying, wow, in the good old days, women didn't talk about whether they were virgin or not. They didn't brag about it, they didn't tell anyone. They didn't even sit around the table with other women and talk about it because between them and God, that person and God. But then now what's they those nasty women? The feminist women. The feminist movement started, right? And they started telling women, oh, you can just like a man. You don't be ashamed of your sex. Don't be ashamed of this or that. You could do what men do. You could be a slut, just like a man could be a slut maker. And then they start writing about it and putting it in movies. And they made women forget that their sex life is a private life. Whether they're a virgin or not is no one's business. Your husband will find out the night of the honeymoon. He'll find out then. He doesn't need to know ahead of time or anything. Keep that between you and God, because if the man find out, all he gonna think about is, I gotta get this one because she's a virgin. And he'll be done with you. He'll make babies with you and walk away. He doesn't care about you at all. And then the other women will be jealous if you're a virgin. They'll make a mockery of you. They'll talk you out of it so you can become lost like them. In the good old days, women didn't talk about all this stuff. Women did not talk about it at all. And I used to date a lot back down in Alabama and out here in the good old days. Women didn't tell you about that stuff. You don't even ask them about that stuff. And even when you try to get with them, you still didn't ask them that kind of stuff. So ladies, seek the kingdom of God. Keep your sex life to yourself. If a guy asks you that, tell him none of his business. And then if a woman want to get around the table and you read these stupid magazines about it, still don't tell him. Because this woman is jealous. She feels like a slut. She's lost and lonely. She's been used up. And she wants you to be the same way. All right? So it's private, ladies. Don't be telling anyone. That makes sense? Yeah, don't tell anyone. Don't talk with other ladies or anyone. And then when you overcome being a female, you become a woman. And it will be amazing to live that way. Because God created you for that purpose. God didn't just create you to be some slut. He didn't create you to be lonely. He didn't create you to be lost. He created you so that if you do want children, sex is a way to make children. That's it. It's never meant for pleasure, even though there is pleasure in sex, but it's not supposed to be exploited like that. All right? So, ladies, start working on yourself. And these men give you all the wrong advice. They're setting you up for themselves to use you. So you got to start thinking for yourself. Do the silent prayer. Forgive your mothers and your father. And you got to do exactly what the men have to do in order to overcome being a male to manhood. Seek the kingdom of God and all be well. That makes sense, ladies? Well, any questions about that?
No.
Does that make sense? Can you bring it to Mike? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Had you thought about that before now?
Yes.
And so had you stopped telling people if you're a virgin or not?
Yeah, I don't talk to people about that.
Yeah. And have you ever done that? Talk to people about that?
Yeah, girlfriends.
And what made you do it with them?
Because it's like the culture. It's so normal the culture calls it normal to just discuss that and be open about it. And like you said, bragging about it.
Yeah, but it's not normal.
No.
You sit around with a bunch of lonely women trying to find a man, and they're never going to find a man to lead them because you're not supposed to be looking for a male. It's naturally for a woman to want to get married, want a family, and there's a right kind of naturalness there. So if you get it, it'll work out, but if you doesn't, that's fine too. Isn't that amazing? Are you married?
No.
You been
I'm
married?
trying to wrap my head around the fact that it's fine if it doesn't happen.
You trying to wrap your head around it?
Yeah, because it's just not happening. So I'm like, okay, I have to just accept that this is okay.
And have you been looking for it?
No.
And so, do you doubt it will happen? Will you say you're trying
Yes,
to
I doubt it.
And why?
Because I don't go out and meet people at all.
Beautiful.
And so it's just not going to happen.
But do you think you have to go out and meet someone for it to happen?
No, I think a man should seek out the woman
Right.
and have the courage to like say, hey, let's go to dinner. Because I feel like men are just scared to like ask you on a date in person.
Yeah. And why is that? You're right about that.
Why are men scared? That makes me think about your biblical question, why are you afraid of negotiating? So they're afraid of the rejection. Like, oh, if she says no, then that's worse than not asking.
I did not know how bad it was with men be afraid to ask a woman out for a date until I started this organization, Bond. I didn't, because when I was growing up and my uncles and friends and everybody, I never heard anyone say, I'm scared to ask a woman for a date. That doesn't even, what are they afraid? Mama. They're afraid of mama's spirit. That's what it is. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So you don't go out at all?
No.
You just stay home and cook?
Yes.
And why did you get to that point?
I lived in LA 7 years. I'm in Louisiana now, where I'm from. And
You live in that white part of town that broke off from the blacks?
yes, very
Oh, you do?
deliberately. Yep.
Wow. Congratulations.
I couldn't survive New Orleans, so I went to the country.
Nice. But anyway, so why did you just decide to get away from all that?
Because I've been through a lot. Men have hurt me really badly. And I was like, okay, I'd rather just be a nun. I actually read a book about like a monk, I guess, in Italy starting a convent, or what's it called for a monk, a monastery? And I was like, okay, I'm doing that.
So you're a monk?
Alone, yeah.
You a monk?
Yeah.
Oh,
I watch this church every Sunday for like 2 years now.
so you're visiting here right now from Louisiana?
Yes.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
And so, how it feel to, what did you do wrong before you finally decided I'm letting all this go? Where did you learn about you that caused all these guys to use you? What
To
were you
be
wrong?
honest, I can answer that pretty easily. I was greedy for money. And so it was just like, oh, get with the guy so that he pays for stuff. And I would like the guy. It wasn't just like purely the money thing. But it was like, I got married for 1 year. That was about money and divorced. And then another guy here in LA. And it was just, it led to hell. To prioritize it that way instead of like, I'm looking for a husband. It was like, I'm looking for a come up.
Oh, I see. And were you trying to control them?
Not consciously, but I guess so.
Yeah. Were they able to lead you at all? Like, have like really questions to answers? I mean, answers to questions you might have about.
Not in a real way.
I noticed that most men can't even make a decision as to what cafe to go to. The girl like, okay, we're going to the cafe? Yeah, we are. Where you want to go? And she said, well, you make the decision. No, you make the decision. No, where you want to go? Wherever you want to go. Get out of the car when that happens, ladies. You would obey a mama baby boy. Amazing. So what have you learned about yourself since then? Since now that you're working on you?
Well, it was, a revelation that you say women our nature is evil. And it's like, it's naturally going to be that way until you overcome it.
Right.
And so that was a big like reveal about myself, was like, oh, I've been evil. I've been like actually like causing harm.
Yeah. And bringing it up on yourself too.
Yeah.
Right on. So are you, any questions about anything?
Yeah, it's
You
unrelated.
came along. What?
Yes, I have a question, but it's unrelated to this.
Okay.
When you talk about the difference between thoughts that are lies and practical thoughts, right now I have like a series of issues like, money, whatever. And I'm like, well, the practical thoughts are driving me crazy because it's like the practical decisions that I'm having trouble with. It's not like a voice in my head like, you're ugly. It's like, you're not going to be able to pay bills. And so I struggle with the difference between like lying thoughts and practical thoughts of like, then you have to do this for things to work out. Things aren't working out.
I don't understand. the
Okay.
question.
Let me think about how to ask it. I'll try again later.
Okay. So you want to know the difference between a practical thought and a crazy thought?
Yeah, like when it's the practical thoughts that are like causing fear and anxiety.
A practical thought cannot cause fear and anxiety.
Okay.
It's only the crazy, non-practical thoughts, the illusion thoughts that causes fear and anxiety. Let's say that your rent is due, right?
Right.
And right now you don't have enough money to pay the rent or even the whole rent. It's not a practical thought just telling you you're not going to be able to pay it.
Okay. I guess that is what I'm struggling with. It's like you're not going to be able to pay it, and then, I don't know, it just causes panic.
Because if you were not lost in the illusional thoughts, you would see how to get up and go make some extra money some kind of way. You know, get a little second job or get overtime at work or something. You will practically see what to do. There is no fear in practical thoughts at all. So if you're having fear, you're lost in your head and don't realize it.
Okay, well, that's helpful.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Because that's the devil telling you, oh, you don't make enough money, you're not going to be able to do this or that, and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Okay, I'll consider that.
So now,
I'll consider that, like, next time it happens.
what do you, if you can say, what are you worried about right now?
It is money. Like, I bought a house, and now I'm deciding if I want to sell and move. Because, like I said, I'm in the country, so I can't get, like, a high-paying job that covers all the bills. It's a complicated story, but that's
Do
about it.
you have a job, period?
No, not now.
And why don't you get, how did you get the house before you get the job? How did you get,
I did lose my job.
Oh, you had the job?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And now it's telling you that you won't be able to pay the note.
Right. Like, should I move somewhere that I can get a higher paying job?
Or get a second job, have two jobs. You have kids?
No.
Why don't you get two jobs?
It's just where I live, it wouldn't cover my bills. Because it's like $15 an hour at a dollar store. It's like a very small town.
So you can make $15 an hour at two different stores.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You hadn't thought of that?
Well, it's just a lot of decisions. Like, see, I was an intellectual too. I did the college thing. I wanted like a great job. And I'm kind of humbled now of like, okay.
So you can get a job in your town, right?
Well, there's just not a lot available. What is available is like low paying.
Is what?
Low paying, like a
But
coffee
you-
shop.
So you can get a low-paying job.
Yeah, I can.
So it's not that you can't get a job.
Well, okay, and that's only become an issue because of health problems. So I was like struggling with fatigue, health thing, and then I couldn't work. But that's kind of over now. That's taken care of. So
What's a fatigue health thing?
like really sleepy due to health problems.
So
but
you're lazy. No,
brain damaged.
you worrying too much. So you're better with that now? That's gone?
Yes.
So get 2 jobs. Don't work. Don't be trying to get a fancy job with your little degree.
Yeah.
That's ego.
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
You want to get the house note paid, the bill paid, right? Get 2 jobs, and don't be too proud, and be grateful, and then this thing just start to work out for you. And don't worry about what people are gonna think. Oh, she has a degree, and she's over at McDonald's working.
No, I'm so past what other people think.
So get 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Get 3 jobs if necessary.
All right, I'll try.
That make sense?
Yes.
And so that's practical thinking right there. But the devil got you thinking you're not going to be able to pay the bills, so you're not doing practical thinking. You're now worrying. And he's telling you, sell your house,
Right.
freak out,
Yeah.
go back to wherever. And you'll believe in that. Those are not practical thoughts.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, at a certain point, some people do lose their house, and it's practical to just take care of that, you know.
I'm sorry?
Well, I was just, I don't know, nothing.
What?
Just that it, you know, if it came down to losing my house, then there would be a practical way of thinking about that. Like, okay, not emotionally attached to the house, just have to let it go.
Right, don't be attached to anything.
Yeah.
If you do have to let it go, but don't be thinking about letting go. Can't you get a tenant and rent a couple of rooms out?
That's an option.
See, you're freaking out, worried about the other stuff. The answers are always right here, right now, but you're in your head worried about losing it, what's going to happen, this happening,
Yeah.
I gotta move, should I move back to wherever? And so you're not seeing all the answers right in front of you. Because you could get is it 2-bedroom or 3?
It's actually 3-bedroom.
Get 2 tenants for each bedroom.
Yeah, maybe.
There are ways out. Don't be thinking of losing it first. That's not a practical thought.
Okay.
That's a fear thought, which is not of God.
Yeah, that's how it feels. It just feels like fear. Nothing's getting done.
Anything that is of fear is not of God.
Okay.
God does not give you fear at all. He tells you to be still so you can see how to overcome all things. Don't overreact. Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I was, and then
What a beta.
now I'm
I mean,
suffering. Suffering again.
so why don't you just suffer that? And no wonder you run around crazy.
Yeah.
Why not do the prayer so you can be conscious?
I don't know. There's no excuse other than just you don't feel like it, and it's laziness, and you're just going to cook breakfast instead of praying.
Well, then you deserve to suffer because you're one with the devil.
Okay.
An unconscious person is one with the devil. You got to put this seeking the kingdom first before anything.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised how life will just work out. It really will. But you got to be serious about seeking the kingdom. Not freak out serious, but put it first in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
So you ain't got no man. You ain't got no job. The man you had with the money, he gone.
Yeah.
And you didn't rip him off. No, I'm playing. Do the silent prayer and work on you, and things will be fine. And don't,
Okay.
if you have fear, just always know fear is not from God. It's not practical at all.
Okay.
Any other question?
No, not now.
Does it help?
Yes.
It makes sense?
Yes.
If you ain't got no money, how you get here?
I had a job like to come out here. I was someone's personal assistant.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Nice.
Just an old friend.
Start a new day. Go back to the prayer. Forget about yesterday. Don't think about tomorrow, and live today and watch how things work out.
Okay.
And when you get back home, go and get you whatever job you can get, no matter what kind it is. And live your life, and don't worry about what people think, the kind of work you do, and all that crap.
Okay.
And don't be too proud to get $2 or $3 for now, so you can pay your bills, pay off all those bills or whatever you do with them.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. All right?
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
So do you understand practical thoughts now a little better?
Yes.
What you don't understand about it?
Well, it's kind of like it'll just have to be put into practice, like when it happens. Like if I'm trying to sell furniture and it's not selling and I'm like, where's the furniture going to go? You know, I'll have to just like put it into practice when it happens.
As it's happening, that's right.
Right.
All right? Amazing. Any questions about that? Okay. This your first time here? This your first time here? Really? What's your name?
Yvonne.
I'm sorry?
Yvonne.
Yell at me the way you do it to your husband. I can't hear you.
Yvonne.
Yvonne, welcome. Where are you from?
Originally from Hawaii, but now we live in the Bay Area, San Francisco.
Oh, so you're from the Bay right now. Well, welcome. Any questions or anything?
I don't think so.
Well, welcome.
Thank
All right?
you.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. All right, any questions about anything? Yes, sir.
In the past couple of years, well, hi Jesse, it's a
Oh,
pleasure
hey,
meeting you.
This your first time too?
Yeah, we're with my wife.
Oh, does she obey you?
Yes.
Are you beta?
No.
You lead your wife?
Yes.
You ask, you guide her with what you need to know about things?
Of course.
Nice, nice. She better obey you. You bigger than her.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
You know, I'm a little bit older, but in the past few years, I've lost a lot of friends and family to either illness or issues. How do you deal with grief? What's the best way to deal with grief?
Good grief. I have no grief, so I don't have to deal with it. There's nothing to grieve about. So you lost your family friend, they died? Or they just walked,
You know, over the years, we've lost some relatives or...
they died or just walked away?
Recently, a friend had killed himself, so...
I'm sorry?
A friend had killed himself, so that's the type of things that... Or a friend had died over COVID. And so those things in life, people die and it dies suddenly.
And you want to grieve about those things?
No, I've grieved over, say, a loss of a child.
Did you lose a child?
Yes, about 10 years ago, so...
Oh, okay. Well, when that happened, you just let it come and pass. Let's say you cry a day or two and let it pass so that it doesn't turn into depression. Because it's doing you no good at all to hold on to that. The kids or the whomever, they're gone now, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if you grieve too long, it makes you feel like you really cared about it, you're hurt about it, you're lost, you're not going to have a life, and you'll build a false life around that. So let the tears come and go, and don't look for a shoulder to cry on, and don't look for people who pat you on the back. Oh, I know how you feel. I'm sorry about your child, blah, blah. Don't look for any of that stuff either. That makes sense?
Perfectly.
Are you grieving now?
No.
Oh, okay. But when someone else commits suicide, that's their life, their problem. And you can say, what an idiot. What a loser.
I mean, for a while, I'll be honest, for a while, when you hear about it, you do feel sad.
Why?
I guess because, you weren't able to, I guess say goodbye, I guess. I don't know. It's just sad.
Speak up a little bit.
I think you feel sad for, for the people they left behind and,
Why?
Good question. I mean, because it affects everybody. I guess I can say that.
How?
That just
How
emotionally.
does it affect you that somebody else committed suicide?
I guess the friendship. I guess you know, it's so sudden that that you I guess you had a connection with them, and then they're gone, and it just there's an emptiness. So I think that's kind of what I would describe as the
It's an
feeling.
emptiness.
There was, but
And so why should you feel empty when somebody commits suicide? While you have identified with them that way, so you feel empty because they're gone. Even if your wife decided tomorrow she want to move back to Hawaii and she wanted to leave you, you just say, okay, bye. And you shouldn't be feeling anything. What do you think about that?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about that before. So.
Would you feel empty if would you feel empty if your wife decided tonight she wanted to go back to
No,
Hawaii? You would feel empty, right?
no.
So why would you feel empty when somebody commits suicide?
Good point.
No, that was a question.
Oh. I guess because I could have, you know, I maybe there was some. At least we would have discussed it. I guess the loss was so sudden that, you know, that maybe there have been things that I guess I could have. I don't think now that I realize it, I don't think there's anything I could have said that would have saved him or could have prevented, say, a friend from killing himself. But I guess
The only
just
thing you could say to, let's say it sounds like you wish you had a chance to discuss that night before he did it, they about to do it.
yeah. I
The only
guess
thing you
exactly.
could say to them is, do you have insurance? Is my name on there too? Does God stop a person from committing suicide?
No,
Is God grieving over it?
no.
Why should you?
Good point.
No, that was a question.
I shouldn't.
So why would you feel empty about it?
I guess, like as you said, that you know, I should have asked him that previous night if
I'm sorry?
I should have asked him that previous night if he had insurance and if I was on it.
Did you know he was going to commit suicide before you?
Not at all.
Oh, well, you didn't know to ask him. It's only if you were sitting there having dinner
Yeah.
and he's like, you know what, tonight or tomorrow night I'm going to kill myself. You're like, oh, okay. Do you have insurance? Where is it? Because you're going to have to pay for the funeral.
Yeah.
His family's not going to show up unless they have money.
Yeah.
But no, you shouldn't be empty about anything. That's why you should seek the kingdom of God. And when people, places, and things come along, you should be, it's not no thing. Either it's work or it doesn't. That makes sense?
Yes,
The
perfect
emptiness that you will have about it is on you. It's your fault. You have made that person your God. You got a fulfillment from something other than God. Now, I would be surprised. Let's say you had a good friend. You woke up the next morning. You hear that he killed himself. You're like, wow, I'm surprised by that. I didn't know that was going to happen, of course. But you shouldn't be feeling empty. You shouldn't be grieving. But that was their life. And we're not responsible for someone else.
Was that a question or?
I'm sorry?
Was that a question or? Okay.
Do you disagree with any of that?
Do I disagree with you?
Any of that we just talked about?
No. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely perfect sense.
So you should wish them well. May his soul rest in peace, blah, blah, blah. But that's all you can do about it.
Thank you.
Do you agree with that? You do? Okay. Any other questions?
No.
And so are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
Wow. You know about it?
Yeah, I know about it.
No wonder you're feeling empty. Why you're not? Just from, if you don't want to do it, don't do it, but why you're not doing it?
I think, I guess I'm in my own thoughts or not thoughts, but I just kind of do my own, like, prayer, just regular prayer.
And what's that?
Just talking directly to God.
I'm sorry?
Talking directly to God.
I can't hear you.
Talking directly to God.
And how do you talk directly to God?
I just talk, and hopefully He hears.
Give me an example.
God, give me strength, or God, I help but bless these people. I hope they can get over their problems.
Speak up a little bit.
I hope they can get over their problems, or if someone's ill, I just, may you bless them. Can you please, look over them? That type of prayer you learn from.
Is he mumbling or is it just me?
You might be a little too close to the mic, but
Yeah, you're mumbling.
Okay.
Okay, speak up a little bit for me.
So I say, things that we, I guess, learned as a child to say,
Yeah.
God, our Father, God bless them, or, bless us on this journey, or.
And does God answer that?
For the most part, what I've asked, I ask very selectively, and most of the things that I've asked for, He's given.
God doesn't even hear that. That's Satan answering those prayers. Because you don't know what to pray for. We don't know what to ask for. We don't know what to pray for. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we need or anything. That's why He said, don't worry about those things. I got you on that. I'll take care of those things. And all you need to do is be still and know Him and just let life happen. All that stuff you're praying is vanity. And then when you get up off your knees praying for those things, you feel good about it. Oh, I'm a good old Christian. I just prayed for that man or that woman, right? And all you did was got an ego feeling from it. What do you think about that? And you could disagree if you like.
No, it makes sense to me. I mean, and it is, I guess, because you do feel good about it,
Yeah.
as you said. So, I mean, it's.
I'm such a good Christian. I pray for the sinners.
Well.
I pray for the dead. I pray for the sick. I pray for this and that. All you're doing is getting an ego feeling. We don't know what to pray for. Suppose you pray, let's say your mama's in the hospital. Your mama still living?
Yes.
And she's dying. And you go pray for her. Oh, God, let mama live. God, please have mercy on mama. Let mama live. And then mama live, right? She come over and destroy your marriage and control you. And now you want mama dead. You're like, what did I pray for? This one. You know? That makes sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense.
We don't know what to pray. I promise you, we don't know what we want. We do not know what we want. That's why in that fallen state, we go for all the wrong things. We go for a certain kind of woman. A woman go for a man. And we go for money. We go for pleasure. We go for the biggest house. We go for this. We go for friends. We go for that. And it all be all wrong all the time. You wish you had not gone for any of those things because you don't get any peace from those things at all. It's just a temporary happiness. And now you need more, or you hate the people you went to be friends with. That makes sense?
Yes.
So I recommend you do the silent prayer, but if you still want to do the hoop and the hollering, go ahead.
Okay. I'll do that.
Have you ever given it a try?
I've listened to it, and then I guess I said I'll do it later, and I never quite got to it. So.
You told the devil I'd do it later?
I guess so.
If you notice how the devil let you get on your knees to pray for everything, but he stopped you from being still. He tell you, do it later. This is too boring. Blah, blah, blah. You don't have time. But he'll let you hoop and holler all day.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
You can be like those Allahu Abba people. You can be praying in the middle of the day, during the day, stop at work, put the little thing on the ground, pray all day long. Because that's vanity. That make sense?
Perfect sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let grief pass. Don't hold on to that. It's in your mind anyway. An emotion, let it pass. Wish the person that died, may their soul rest in peace. Because we want to wish everybody well, meaning that don't resent them. All right? Amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I'm glad you're here. Yes, sir.
Oh, isn't grieving just another thrill to feed the ego? Isn't it? Like, it seems like it's the opposite of a thrill, but it's a thrill.
All thrill.
It's all thrill just to make myself feel better that
That's why he said that when you get up, you feel like I just prayed for that person.
Right.
I'm a good person.
And if you don't grieve, people look at you like you're crazy because they think that, oh, you don't care. When you're really trying not to say, oh, look how much I care so much look how much I care. I'm going to grieve. I'm going to grieve. I'm going to grieve just for my own ego.
All devil children think that you don't care. They the one don't care.
Right.
All that is just pretense. Amazing, huh? Nice. Is this your first time? What's your name? Cheyenne.
Yeah,
Your name Cheyenne?
it's Cheyenne, but American pronunciation.
Oh, yeah, speak into the mic for me.
Some people pronounce it Cheyenne.
Oh,
but
well,
it's-
welcome.
Thank you.
And when I thought about the cowboy movie Cheyenne or something like that. Where are you from?
I'm from LA.
Any questions or comments?
No, I'm just soaking it in and just listening.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Just I guess, experience of mine.
Why not? Let me hold
Yes,
that thought.
sir.
You want to be free, you could be free. I don't care what has happened in the past, what you've done, how bad you've done it, how many times you've done it. God wants you free because it's not you that's been doing those things. All right? Stop judging and be free. You can literally be free right here, right now. But you got to come out of the thoughts. You got to be conscious. The only thing that's keeping you from being free, you will not forgive and you won't be conscious. You will not stay present. Stay present. And you can stay present. Though I don't want to hear that you can't stay present. You can do it. That make sense? Yes, sir.
Yeah, about a few weeks ago, Mama Spirit kind of got a hold of me a little bit.
Your what?
Mama's Spirit
Yeah.
got a hold of me a little bit, and I let my ego, take control for a second. Recently, a friend of mine that lives in another state was always whining, saying crazy things, like crazy phrases that didn't make sense, and complaining about their job. And I got my thoughts led me to think, man, this person may commit suicide. They're going to do something to themselves. So I went through all this stuff. I called their mother.
What?
Yeah, I was calling the suicide hotline.
What?
I went through all this stuff, yeah. And and I tried to fight it, but again, I got caught up in the thought. And then this person didn't commit suicide.
You did not?
No. And they were just trying to drag me into their hell.
Yeah.
And I went for a second or whatever, but I was trying to watch myself, but I learned a lesson, and what you say is let people suffer. And I was trying to, save them. I would put my cape on.
I'm telling y'all right now, if you try to commit suicide, I ain't calling no hotline. I ain't calling no hotline. I ain't calling your mama. You gone. That's not my responsibility. Call some stupid hotline.
And
And so,
it was a woman too. It was a woman.
wow.
So that kind of drugged me. I was like, I'm gonna really help her or whatever. But I was all in my ego.
Why didn't you want her to just take a lot? Just say, oh, okay.
I was I'm gonna be this good person. I'm gonna be this good Christian. I'm gonna save her. And maybe she'll thank me later. You know what I mean? And I got caught up.
See,
I just
that
caught
maybe
up
she'll
my
thank me
ego.
later.
I mean, that's me being. That's me being honest when I really think
Right,
about it.
absolutely.
Or maybe a family would be
Because
like,
that's
oh,
what it
you
is.
saved my daughter or my.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got caught up in my ego.
Then you go to the White House and receive
my award. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
award for saving a life.
So yeah, that ego thing, I had to really let it go. But yeah, that lesson was definitely taught, and I was trying to be conscious of it, but I fell unconscious at some point. And
So at no point did you stop and say, what am I doing here?
I did, yeah. Okay. And then I would get drugged back into it. So yeah, I don't know. Wow.
So she's still living?
As far as I know.
And she wants you to send him some money now?
No. Oh. But that's come up before too. So yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess.
So what you learn from that?
Let go of my ego, stop believing these thoughts, and stop trying to get credit for something and be this, super person or great person or Christian or whatever.
Yeah, amazing. You gotta I recommend that you practice watching the thoughts at all times. If you just practice watching those thoughts, you'll be fine. You'll start to catch them before they make you do stupid stuff. You'll start to catch them before they make you feel something. The only reason you're having the feelings because you're not catching the thoughts. And the only reason you're not catching the thoughts, you're not conscious. Your job is to watch, be conscious at all times, be present. And you got to practice doing this so it'll become the natural way. And then what's going to happen after a while, thoughts will just pass through your mind. They will just pass. They won't stay because you'll become aware of them. They'll just pass through. And they're supposed to pass through. You're not supposed to get these thoughts and they stop right here and drive you nuts. They're supposed to pass. Even practical thoughts, you use them temporarily to build your house or design your house or look for a job. And once you have the job, you don't have to look for a job, so you don't need that thought anymore. You'll be fine. You have to learn how to use, and you will, to use thoughts in the right way. Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
What?
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. I can't complain.
What's wrong?
Well, it has been, I guess I just can't complain. It has been very interesting for me. I've discovered a lot.
Like what?
About myself. Like one of the major things I've discovered is that I'm a control freak.
You just now discovering that?
I
You're
know,
like a day late and $1 short.
I know.
Speak
I
up so
know.
hate can hear you way over there.
I'm a control freak.
Right. Every woman on this earth a control freak.
I'm seeing
until
that.
they start to overcome. You what now?
I said I'm seeing that. And I also had a question.
Okay. Let me ask this first and then
Okay.
the question.
Okay.
What is it like knowing that you are, now that you can see clearly that you are?
I really don't know how to feel about it, because now that I know that I am, and when those moments and those thoughts come, it's like I feel like I have to do something about it.
No, there's nothing to do. All you need to do is see it.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, okay, now I know I'm a control freak. This is great news to know, and now I just have to, continue on. I guess I don't know how to feel about it. Still.
All you need to do is know, and so when it's time to control again, just stop. Let's say that, I know you're not married, but let's say if you were married,
Yeah.
and you're trying to control your husband. This time you're trying to, he going to the ball game. You're like, no, you can't go to the ball game. I want to go too. Blah, blah, blah. The moment you see it coming, stop right there in that moment. Just don't do it, and it'll pass. It really will pass. But you got to catch it so you can stop it. There's nothing else to do about it. Don't try to stop yourself. You just need to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
That make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. What took you so long to find out you control?
Because I was confusing it. In my head, I'm like, well, if you let them do this thing, they're just going to keep doing it until you say something about it. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I have to say something about it or they're going to keep doing it.
So your mind telling you, well, if you let this grown man do this, he's just going to keep doing it.
Well, not even just grown man, just people in general of just like, okay, if you let your sister talk this way, it's going to be this. Or if your mom or just whoever, if I don't say anything about it, it's going to just keep happening. So in my head, I'm like, you're just setting a boundary. That's all you're doing. Like that, no harm in that.
No, you've been lied to.
I know.
Yeah. Let everybody else do what they want. Let them say what they want, act the way they want, live in their own hell, and whatever. You just stay in your world, and you'll be fine. We are not responsible for anyone else. Even our children, once they become adults, we are no longer responsible for them. We feed them and guide them, and when they become adults, they're on their own, And if they decide to jump in the ocean, that's their notion, not yours.
Just had a really quick question.
I walked up on Nick yesterday,
Oh,
the anchor baby,
yes.
and Friday, I walked into the office, nobody in the office but him, and he was singing that song. His girlfriend went out of town. And she been gone for a week. I was alone. And he was saying it, my baby coming home tomorrow. Ain't that good news? Oh, ain't that news? I got an email just the other day. She said she's sorry, she went away. My baby coming home tomorrow. I'm like, what the? Y'all ever heard that song?
No.
Anybody ever heard that song?
Never.
The real song is My Baby Coming Home Tomorrow. I got a letter the other day because they didn't have emails in those days. She told me she was sorry she went away. But nowadays you get emails. You don't get letters. And his girlfriend coming back tomorrow. Look how happy he is.
I thought I was in the office by myself.
See? But anyway, your question.
Okay, so I've been trying to navigate how to, I don't even know how to ask this question. It may sound so ridiculous, but I've been trying to navigate how to deal with friends that may have a different sort of lifestyle than me. I don't know how to, I don't know if should I be around them, or I'm just not sure, because I'm always getting in these situations where they want me to, I don't know, I hate to say show allegiance, because that's a big word, but kind of show up and co-sign their lifestyle when I don't I don't hate them for doing it, like live the dream, but I'm not about to co-sign on you doing what you're doing.
Right on. And your question is how to deal with that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This young man with the shades wanted to.
How to deal with co-signing or not co-signing?
How does she deal with her friends who have different lifestyle? Should she be around them? Should she approve it, right? Or not approve it? Or
I guess I'm wondering, should I even be around them? Because they just want me to, I guess, be happy that they're doing certain things, and I'm not mad that they're doing certain things.
Right.
I'm just not, jumping for joy that they're doing it.
How should she deal with that?
I don't have that answer. I mean, I've cut off people recently just because, I just realized the relationship was all about ego the entire time, and even as recently as I had a buddy that started talking to me about it was a transgender thing or something that he was all into, and I just was like, and then that was literally the last time I talked to him, and I was just like, God bless you, but it's not gonna. We don't have anything in common anymore. So that was
Just walk away.
Yeah.
You can't stop them from doing it. Don't judge them from doing it, because they're being driven by the same spirit that want you to control everything, everybody. A control freak. It's the same spirit. So, but wish them well and just stay away. If you don't want to go around it, don't go around it. If you do, go around it, but don't judge it. Stay free. Because understanding what's happening in you will help you understand them. But you are controlling your own life, so you make that decision whether you want to or not. Okay. Don't let them pressure you.
Yeah, I've had friends come back that I cut off, keep texting, hey, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you upset at me? I just completely let it go.
Yeah.
I just don't respond.
Absolutely.
That's what I've done.
That's all you do. It's not personal, but you got to live your life now that you're waking up. You got to live your life. You got to overcome the world. You can't save the world.
Yeah.
Don't even try. You can't save the world. You can only work on you. So walk away if you want to, but just don't judge. That make sense?
That makes sense.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions?
Not right now.
I'm sorry?
Not right now, no.
Oh, okay. I want to ask him a quick question. So you still have the fear?
Yeah.
Did it help? Did it help to come up here yesterday? I mean, last Sunday?
Yeah, it did.
In what way did it help?
Well, because I just realized the fear was an illusion.
Right. So in knowing that, why don't you let the fear go and be done with it?
I think I try to do that. I watch the fear and try not to identify with it, but it doesn't go away just like that.
And why not?
I don't know.
Well, just watch it.
Yeah.
And don't call it you. And then when you find yourself in a situation that you want to avoid, go through those situations anyway. Yeah. You know, so you can get past that fear. Do you realize it's not you at all?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Any question about it?
No.
Right on.
But I think I've been watching it for a long time. I even asked you this one time, and it never fully disappears, really. It becomes maybe less and less identified with it, right? But never really goes away.
But, I know what it is. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah.
Okay, every day and night?
Pretty much.
Every day and night?
No. I am doing it 90% of the time.
Does God say do it 90% or
there might be a night where you go
100?
out and have a couple drinks and you go home and you pass out. I mean, that's what happens.
What an alcoholic.
But when I'm on my routine, it's every day and every night.
99 and a half won't do.
Okay.
Because the devil's not playing. That's why you haven't let it go, because you got to be conscious at all times. Let's say you do go out and have a couple of drinks, right? And you come home, do the silent prayer a few minutes before you fall asleep. You got to continue to put that first. You're not going to be judged by God for the drink thing. But at least before you fall asleep, do the silent prayer so you can stay conscious while you're drunk and sleep. But don't let the devil tell you, oh, you're too drunk to do the silent prayer. He doesn't want you to. Because even in your drunkenness, the Father will help you while you sleep. But the only reason that fear is not gone yet, because you're not staying present at all times. Mm-hmm. You got to stay conscious at all times. Mm-hmm. God said to pray without ceasing, and that means to stay present at all times. That way you can always see the devil coming to tempt you, and you have to flee from you. Or if he's working through other people trying to tempt you, they will have to flee. He will have to flee from you. But you got to commit to the prayer. Do you want to keep coming up here or something?
Not particularly. I feel like it's not fair to everybody else to have me up there answering questions.
Oh, you trying to be fair. And I find this a lot. I notice that most people hear about the prayer, but they're not committed to the prayer. I tell them simple ways: practice walking through doors, practice sitting in your office, practice everything. Little things that will help you become more and more aware. Most people are not doing it. Isn't that like amazing? There's no other way around it. I'm telling you what I have to do. What every human being have to do if they want to be one with the Father at all times. And the devil hates that. He doesn't want you to be one with the Father. He doesn't want you to practice being present. But you got to do it if you want. 99 ain't going to do it. That makes sense?
It does.
Yeah, so again, if you happen to go out and get drunk or whatever, right? When you get in bed or before you lay down, at least sit there 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just be aware. And then when you go to bed, you're going to be fine. Because you're putting that, seeking the kingdom first. Mm-hmm. You have to want, ladies and guys, you have to want the kingdom more than anything else. You have to want what's right. That's what it means to want the kingdom. You must want what's right because you've been living in this hell all your life. And hell ain't pretty. It's fear and doubt and worry, insecure, loneliness, depression, suicidal thoughts, and all kinds of stuff. Looking for love in all the wrong places. It's all hell. You shouldn't have to look for anything. And you won't if you stay present. You'll forget that you should worry about these things. Feeling sorry for other people and It's a mess. It's a real mess. But make sure you stay with it no matter what. All right? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, stay with it. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Oh, hold on a minute here.
I have kind of the same issue, like when it comes time to like present stuff. Or
Speak up for me. So that white guy, see that white guy way over there?
Yeah. How you doing?
He should be able to hear you, so speak up so he can.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I have the same issue sometimes, like when I think about having to talk or like introduce myself, like I'll get like nervous. So if you just keep doing the prayer, it's just gonna go away on its own?
Yes.
Okay.
So you have probably like standing in front of crowds?
Yeah, like presenting or like introducing myself or like, yeah, just like today when I was here, yeah, it just came a little bit like that little nervousness, and then I was just thinking about it like, this is not me, right? Stop it.
You should have never told me this.
No, but
Nick, put this chair right there. Put this chair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want you to just, I'm not going to keep you up here the whole time because I got to get to the biblical question. But I want you to come up. Is this in the camera? Oh, okay. I want you to come up and introduce yourself and tell the public what you just told me. And the whole world is looking all the way over in Nicaragua.
Where?
Nicaragua.
Where? Where is that? No, I'm just kidding.
So tell the people what you just told me.
My name is Cheyenne.
Is he in front of?
Sure. What do you want me to tell him?
About what you just, your fear.
I have like presentation, whatever you want to call it, introducing myself, public speaking. There you go. That I have that. Should I say I have that fear? Well, I had it. I'm getting over it. I'm working on it. So.
And you say you felt that this morning?
Yeah, because it was my first day here, so I was like, man, I wonder if he's gonna, ask me, is it my first day here? And then I got worried a little bit. I was like, man, what am I gonna say? And then when that weird feeling came, I was like, no, this isn't me. I'm not a shy or nervous guy.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let it pass me.
And so how do you feel right now?
I feel fine.
You don't feel shy or nervous?
Let me just see. Nah, I don't.
So what happened to it between here and there?
I don't know. I just let it go, kind of let it just pass. I felt it, I didn't run away from it. I was like, okay, it's here. And then.
And what did it feel like?
Just like nervousness. Nervousness. And you just think weird things like, is my voice gonna tremble? Are they gonna hear my voice trembling? Stuff like that.
And it was the thoughts that told you that too.
Absolutely.
They're gonna hear your voice trembling, they're gonna do this. And if you pay attention to those thoughts about that, it'll pass. It's an illusion, it's not even real, but it's the thoughts that's telling you, oh, they're gonna hear my voice trembling. They're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. But if you didn't pay attention to the thoughts, it'll just pass. It's just a thought. But if you hold on to it, you're gonna believe it, and that's where the problem is. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. That make sense? So you're not nervous anymore?
No.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I wanted to test myself to see if I would be nervous, and it didn't happen, so I appreciate that.
Right on. Give that to Nick when you get down there. It's just a thought. Really, it's just a thought. And a thought is just a thought, an empty thought, unless you react to it. That's all it is. Just think about this. It's just a thought. When you were thinking about the suicidal person, it was just a thought. And then you reacted to it, and it became real. It still wasn't true, but it's real because you have no reason to be feeling anything about somebody commit suicide. You know what I mean? I don't care if your mama jumped out the window. Oh, mama jumped out the window. Mama did. You know what I mean? Yes, Nick.
It's unrelated.
Okay, yeah, fine. And then I get to the biblical question.
Earlier, you were telling women not to disclose them being virgins.
Right.
And I think that's fine advice, but
ladies, stop telling other ladies. And it's personal between you and God only. It's not between a man, it's not his business, or the ladies, it's not their business. It's between, God gave you that. And God never meant for you to get in bed and carry on for 2 hours. Really. It's like, you want to have sex? Yeah. You want to have sex? Yes. Okay, let's get in bed and knock it out. It'll be done. And ladies like to be hugged. They prefer to hug more than the sex. They just want, because they like to feel safe and close to their man, so they like to feel safe. There's nothing wrong with that. But just a minute or two, you're done. Turn the TV back on. Really? I still have time to watch my favorite show. Because it's God, he just wants you to make a baby. He made it, you've set up that way to make a baby. Not to call it love, not to try to get an identity from it, not to try to get high off it, not to try to make her feel good, or she's trying to make you feel good. You're going to get that natural feeling that comes with that anyway, given to you by God. But the feeling's supposed to just, it's over. 5 minutes. And if the woman wants you to hug her, hug her. A woman likes to feel close to her man. She can't help that. And the man should make her feel comfortable and safe. That's fine. Because some men, when they're done, they don't even want to touch it. She be like, oh, let's hug. I don't want to hug. It's okay to hug. Sometimes it's better to hug than to do the other thing. There's nothing wrong with romance, but you got to do it in the right order. It was created for that. It was created to make babies. And you see some of these TV shows, they be doing all kinds of things on shows. They don't hide it now. They just let you see what they be doing. Ladies, stop. Don't let them make a slut out of you. That's not love. If they say they love you, they lying. That's not love. The last thing, when a man see a pretty woman, he's saying whatever that woman may be to him, he ain't thinking about, oh, I wonder how smart her brains are. Oh, I need somebody to talk to. That's not what he's thinking. He's thinking about, I wonder how long it's going to take, how much money I'm going to have to spend to get this one in bed. Amazing. Well, anyway, yes, Nick.
So earlier you were saying that there's like a modern word, a modern dating concept that I also think maybe women and people shouldn't disclose. Wondering what you think. They call it body count, and it's a big thing. You got to tell people if she has too high of a body count, then it's over. Don't even mess with her.
That's why women should keep their business to themselves. Right now you've been traumatized, so you're going to be having some body counts. But now that you're working on your whatever, I think body count means how many men you've been with?
Well, it used to mean, I guess, how many people you've killed, I guess, but...
Don't tell anyone how many you've been with. It ain't a man's business. Really. It's your business. And it's like any fallen state. It's your business, you overcome it. Work on you. And because all they're going to do is judge you. That's all they're going to do. And then they still going to want to get with you and add another body count to the dead. That's all. It had nothing to do with love. Don't tell a guy that. It's not his business. And guys, don't tell ladies that either. They will judge you to the grave. All you're doing is setting each other up. It's just all ego. Where all this stuff come from where you have to tell everything? It doesn't even make sense. Looks like you ought to have some common sense. Some guys say, well, oh, hi, how you doing? You're pretty. You too, you're handsome. Okay, nice. How many you been with already? No, none of your business. That's not a question to answer. What are you asking you a question like that for? Just think about it. It's not his business. Everything ain't everybody's business. Anybody disagree with that? If you're going to love this woman, you're going to love this woman because you're working on you and she's working on herself. And you're going to love one another with the right love. And you already know you're in a fallen state, she's in a fallen state. She might be working on herself. You hopefully will. And you'll overcome it. So how are you going to judge her? By asking a stupid question, how many body count? How many people you've been with? And don't answer it, ladies. In the good old days, the women would have said, none of your business. Because that's not their business. That's between you and God. Don't tell your girlfriends or anybody. And the only reason guys tell each other because they want to brag. They want other guys to think that that's manly, and it's not. But anyway, yes, Nick.
I have a different question.
You guys are living some horrible. I'm glad I was born way back in the 1800s. It's amazing how many things have changed. It's crazy. Look like common sense would tell you not to tell your business to anyone. It looked like I wouldn't have to tell you that. Somebody asks you some stupid stuff like that, none of your business. Don't ask me that. They're not asking you that out of love. They're not trying to help you. They're trying to judge you. That's all this about. Can't y'all shut up? Shut up and do the prayer. But, yes, Nick.
I do have a different question, but I think he had a disagreement about this.
Did you have a disagreement about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where did the concept come of the woman has to be a virgin before she marries? Like,
God.
isn't that the symbolism of the white dress with the veil? Like she's walks up to the altar with the veil on, that means she's a virgin? Well, that's used to be an old tradition. I don't know. Is that man-made or is that from God? Or
repeat that now?
So where did the concept come that the woman has to be a virgin before she marries?
From God.
Okay. So is a woman worthy? Well, what I'm trying to say is, forget about the white dress and the veil and all that. Is she worthy of being married if she's not a virgin? Of getting married if she's not a virgin?
Is the man worthy of her marrying him if he's not a virgin?
Well, I don't think it says anything about the man, right? In the Bible.
Is the man worthy of her marrying him if he's not a virgin?
I don't know.
Why you don't know that?
I mean, it doesn't say in the Bible. It only says about the woman.
But the man should be a virgin too. The man is the head.
Yeah.
The man is the leader. He's the light. So if the light can be worthy of being a virgin, why can't the follower?
Man, yeah, it should be the man too. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes sense.
So the man should be too. If you require that of her, he should be that way. He can't ask something of her.
So how is the man going to know?
A woman don't want to marry a slutty man.
If the man's a virgin, and then how is he going to know if the woman's not a virgin?
He'll
before
find
he
out
marries
the
her.
night
Well,
of the
after
wedding.
they usually find out after they get married.
That's fine.
So
don't judge her.
Should he just divorce her or what?
No, don't judge her. If he's working on himself, he won't judge her.
Yeah.
And he'll become that example that she can look at and see the right way to go. He won't judge her. It's not his business.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, is it fair that he was a virgin and then she wasn't a virgin?
It's neither fair or unfair.
All right.
If it's unfair for him, if he doesn't require himself to be a virgin, he should require that of her. And if he find out she's not, then, oh well. You still do the right thing. You be right. All right? Yeah. Yes, Nick?
No, that's fine.
Huh?
I'm good.
Did you have a different question or something?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm fine. I know the answer.
No, go ahead.
I don't have that question anymore.
Oh, okay. I got to get to the biblical question. Anybody know what it is? Oh, good. Oh, you know what it is? What is it? Hold on for a minute.
If I'm wording it correctly, why is evil able to work with you or work on you?
Yes, work with you. And you say?
I don't know. I considered it, but I just didn't come up with an answer.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think because it lies to me and tells me that whatever the thing to do, like this is the right thing to do. It lies and tells me it's the right thing to do.
Okay. Are you going to start doing the silent prayer now?
Yes.
Yeah, make sure you stay with it.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, stay with it. Because eventually, you're just going to find yourself being present. And all your questions will be answered.
Okay.
Naturally. Why is evil able to work with you?
Evil is able to work with me because when I'm not paying attention to myself, the devil is, and he will notice what my heart will sell out for. He will know, and the thoughts will come.
Repeat that again.
So when you're not
evil
paying
is able to work with you. Why?
with me, when I'm not paying attention to myself, the devil is, because he's paying attention to you, and when he sees you reacting to something and liking something, he will make a play for it.
Okay. Yes, the young lady in the brown want to respond. Why is evil able to work with you?
I think evil works.
Speak up for me. As though you're yelling at your man.
The false self.
There you go.
The false self is what evil works with.
The false self, you say?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When unconsciousness sets in and deception, like she said, when you're deceived, to believe that that's the truth, that's how.
Okay.
Yep.
Amazing. Raymond, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. I want to get to a couple other people first that I saw. This young man want to respond. And then this young man dying to respond. Yes, why is evil able to work with you?
I don't personally believe evil is able to work with me.
Why not?
Because I'm conscious.
You're unconscious?
No, I'm conscious.
You are conscious. And so evil is not able to work with you?
Yeah, I'm conscious, not unconscious.
Right.
Yeah.
So evil cannot work with you because you are conscious?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I think it works with most people because there's a saying that goes that men fall in love with what they see and women fall in love with what they hear. So evil might work through other people. So like in a woman's case, it might work through a man that she might be interested in, and he'll make the man tell lies to the female so that, it'll work through and get to her. Or with the man, evil might, make a woman be like insecure about how she looks, so she'll put on makeup, and then it'll work against him at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes, sir. Why is evil able to work with you?
To make you believe all the thoughts and the lies.
To make you believe what now?
The thoughts, the lies. Fool yourself, basically.
Oh, so evil able to work with you because it can make you believe that the thoughts
are true.
Are true.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Are you doing the silent prayer every day?
70%.
What?
I'm doing them, but I need to work on it.
Are you doing them every morning, every night?
No,
And why not?
just laziness sometimes.
Laziness?
Yeah.
So are you too lazy to go get drunk?
Sometimes I am. We didn't go out last night.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
You gonna make up tonight?
No.
So how come being free is not first for you?
It is first.
It is first?
Yeah.
Why do you say it is first?
Because I'm tired of living the lie.
But if it's first, wouldn't you be doing the silent prayer 100%?
I would be.
So you're not doing it 100%, right? So how is it first?
So it's not first at the moment.
And how do you know you're tired? And I understand that statement, but how do you know you're tired of living the lie?
Just watching the thoughts and feelings and knowing what I'm doing, it's not who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure that out.
Trying to figure out who you are?
Yep.
And what do you come up with so far?
Nothing yet. The observer. Just watching it. Watching it all happen.
And you're never going to be able to figure that out. So stop trying to figure that out.
Okay.
And just overcome who you're not.
Yeah.
All right? You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. But you got to work on this. You got to submit to the truth. You got to let go.
I do let go.
I'm sorry?
I do let go. I let go of a lot of things.
Well, why not let go of everything?
I'm working on it.
By doing what?
Just leaving stuff behind, not letting it get to me, and not overthinking it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do the prayer too.
I
Stay
will.
with it. All right?
I will.
Why is evil able to work with you?
My lack of awareness.
Oh, okay. Are you doing the silent prayer every day?
Oh, yes.
Every morning, every night?
Yes, and my life has improved so much. It's just better.
Oh, nice. Stay with it.
Yes.
All right. The young lady one, and then Raymond over here. And yeah, we'll come back to her. I'm talking about the black one.
Oh, my
bad. Why is evil able to work with you?
I think to bounce off of what the lady said, I think evil it's a comforting thing to know that it has me figured out in a way. So when these thoughts evoke these feelings, they're like, oh, it's because of this. And I'm like, yeah, it is because of that, because of this. So I think it's just the level of the devil knowing what's going on in you and in your body, and he's telling you.
Right.
And me agreeing of like, that has to be right, because that's what I'm feeling. And that's what seems like what is going on. So I think that's how it works with me anyway.
Oh, okay. Amazing. I'm going to come to her next, but let me take Raymond. Raymond, why is evil able to work with you?
Because evil makes you feel comfortable in your own sin and your failings. It's like a big wallowing in his own manure. It feels comfortable, but it's still filth.
So evil is able to work through you because it feels comfortable?
Yeah.
Work with you because it feels comfortable?
Yes. It makes me feel comfortable in my own anger, my fear, fear.
Why don't you let go then?
That's why I'm praying to do, letting go of my anger.
Why not just let go? You can drop it right now.
I wouldn't know how. More often than not, I wouldn't know how.
I've said it 100,000, 200,000, 350, 400, 800,000, 9,000, 1 million times. I even wrote a patch in here on my eye that I was saying it.
I know I should rise above it.
Why don't you?
To me, is a very long journey.
Where? What's the long journey?
From the place of my anger to a place of peace.
And how do you know that?
Because I still feel there. Whenever I pray, I still feel that piece, that part of angry part of me that makes me want to scream. Make me feel like screaming.
No, men don't scream. Unless they're transgender.
Huh?
Men don't scream. But listen, why don't you just stop identifying with it?
With my anger?
Yeah, the anger. Why don't you stop calling it my anger?
I guess it's a part of me. I grew up for so long I'm used to. That's why evil makes it comfortable.
So why not stop calling it you? You don't have to say my anger anymore. Because it's not yours.
That yeah, that's what I really want to do.
Well, stop doing it. All you gotta do is stop.
I used to. Okay, I have the problem. I identify with everything around me. I guess I should stop doing that. Start being aware of what's within me.
Yes. Just be aware of it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Right here, and then where? Oh, right here. Why is evil able to work with you?
Because I let it?
I'm sorry?
Because I let it?
You love it?
No, I let it.
You like it?
I let it.
What did you say?
I let
Oh, you let it. Oh, speak up, because the way you yell at him. I can hear your voice all the way through the house. And why do you like it? Oh, you let it. Why do you let it?
I don't know. It's just, I guess, human nature.
Your human
We
nature?
just- Yeah.
Oh, are you doing the silent prayer?
No.
You following your husband, huh? Start doing the prayer.
Okay.
You know about it?
No.
Oh, you didn't even tell her about it?
No, because I haven't done it.
What?
Because I haven't.
So you haven't told your wife because you haven't done it. Yeah. So you're going to keep her in hell with you. I'm sorry?
No, I'll let her go first.
All right. Well, have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah.
Did he tell you about that?
Yeah, he
He
told
told
me
you about
about
that.
that, yeah.
Well, start doing the prayer.
Okay.
All right? And you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay. Why is it easy for evil to work through you, with you?
Pretty much, yeah, going unconscious and believing the thoughts that come up and believing the words of everyone and most of the people in the world saying that, you know, evil is okay or anger is good. You start believing all that stuff. So, and then you get comfortable in that.
Oh, okay. Amazing. So I need to ask two more people this. They have a short question. Yes, Nick. Yeah. Why is evil able to work with you?
Because I let it.
And why do you let it?
Because I like it.
Amazing. At least one honest person here. No, two honest people. She said the same thing. Okay. How about you, Frankie? Why is evil able to work with you?
It tricks me sometimes.
Meaning what?
It tricks me. Tricks my ego. Example is I thought that I knew something, and I thought I'm not going to pick sides. Don't pick sides. Something came and I picked sides, and I wasn't even aware of it until later.
Oh, okay.
So I was tricked.
Let me ask Joel, he be like, and then Monto.
Omid.
Omid. That's your name? I don't even know my PR name. I thought it was, he looked like Abba, Ula Abba to me. Monto. Anyway, why is evil able to work through you? Why is evil able to work with you?
A lack of understanding.
Meaning what?
Ignorance, just not knowing how to, God not drawing me in to understand what it really, renewing my mind. So it's just intellectual that I should or I shouldn't let it, but it's not like in the heart.
Okay, amazing. Montel, why is evil able to work with you?
I think it's able to work with me because it sounds like me and I'm used to calling it me and justifying that it's doing the right thing. So instead of being conscious, I just roll with it.
Interesting. And how about you, Hake, of the Hake Report? Why is evil able to work with you?
I think because I'm trifling, like I'm not really committed. I think that's why.
You're trifling?
Yeah.
Are you black?
On the dark on the inside.
Amazing. Yes, Nick?
Could I expand a little bit on what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I really do relate to what everybody was saying about, well, I'm just not aware enough. I'm just not conscious of the thoughts, conscious of what's bringing me to that. I totally relate to all that. But I've already asked this to myself a few times, and I'm like, I can't keep coming back to, oh, I'm just not aware enough.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at myself, and you've been asking us to look at the demons and all that, and I've been watching it, and I got to say, I want to be unconscious. I want to, and I didn't know that. I really, really didn't know that. Look, what happened recently, I was in the middle of a conversation, and I did the hardest thing. I didn't even know it was the hardest thing ever. And it took me everything. It cost me like everything. And what it was to admit that I was wrong, essentially, without going into too many details.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the conversation, and why that's specific to me, why that's important, is because, how do I put it? I'm like an intellectual, right? So I've heard the lesson of don't tell people your problems and stuff like that. And be an if man. And so, I don't know, I confused it in my mind thinking I'm an if man or something. But I saw how hard it was to admit I was wrong in that moment and say, oh, you know what? I actually mistook what you said. I got offended, and I'm sorry. And I dropped it right then. It was the hardest thing to do, though.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that are you following me so far? Like, it was just, I could see that I wanted to be unconscious. I wanted revenge. I wanted to hurt. I wanted to get an ego feeling. I wanted all those things. So it took me everything to just admit, and I'm like doing that in conversations now. Not like telling all my problems, but
right.
I'm like doing that in conversations, going like, oh, actually, I'm sorry, I mistook what you said. I got offended, my bad. And just dropping it.
Right on. Amazing. Hassan, I didn't know you were back there. Why is Eva able to work with you? Hassan.
I guess I still like the thrill.
Okay.
I remember one time you and Joel were talking about peace, and Joel was like, "It's boring being it's so boring being like conscious and like keeping your mind where your body is." So yeah, I guess the peace is boring.
Amazing. Okay. One reason and one reason only Eva is able to work with you is because you're evil. That's the only reason. Get over that, Eva cannot work with you. And you cannot work with evil. This is why I encourage you to work on you. You're not responsible for anyone else, no one else, except your little children if you have children. But work on you. Stay with working on you. Night and day. Work on you. Never stop. Stay present, stay conscious, and work on you, and then evil cannot work with you. Cannot at all. But you gotta do the prayer so that you can practice being present at all times. Because the moment you go unconscious, you're in the evil of one. Just like that. But you gotta do the prayer. It's interesting to see that people won't do the prayer. But I understand most people are not going to finish this journey. They're not going all the way. Most people are not. Some will start and they'll find a reason to stop. Allow someone else to talk them out. Another loser, right? Oh, why are you doing that? That's boring, blah, blah, blah. Why are you going to that church? Why are you this and that? And you stop. Some will go way down the road and then they'll get bored. They'll find some reason to stop. But then those are very, very few that will go all the way with it. No matter how long it takes, how painful it is, how long it takes, even if they have to travel alone, they're going to go all the way with it, and that's the one that will receive the prize. So don't let anyone talk you out of this, because they will try. The darkness in them will try to talk you out of staying with the light. But you got to do it. You got to submit to it. And the wisdom you're going to get along the path just going to make you want more wisdom. You're going to be like, oh, I want more of that. I just didn't know. I couldn't see. I just didn't know. And you're going to want more and more and more, and more will take you further and further and further. The more wisdom you got, the more of the Father, truth, the light, and the love that you're going to want. Because it's going to change everything. It will change the darkness to the light. You will change if you stay with it. And this illusion of the world will pass away. And the people around you be going nuts. Your family, they'll be fighting one another, scared, afraid, have fear and doubt and worry. And they're afraid of the war coming up and all kinds of stuff. But you'll be fine. And you're going to be surprised how this thing, whatever's happening in the world, is not bothering you. It will not bother you at all. You'll be in it, but not of it. And people be crying, oh, the taxes are bad, the gas prices are up, everything costs so much, everything is, but you won't be afraid. You'll see that it's happening, but you will not be afraid. You will have one piece of bread on your table and a roof over your head, and you'll be as satisfied as you would be if you had 1,000 rooms and maids. Because you will be at peace. The Father loves you, right? You don't know how God operates right now. But if you stay with it, you will know. You can't know in the mind. You can't learn how he operates. You have to see it along the way. You will see it. He doesn't operate. You can't even imagine how he functions. And he said that your thoughts and your ways are not mine. My mind are not yours. But he will show you. It's going to be amazing. All right? I have 2 people I need to answer, maybe 3, this, and then we're out of here. It's 4th of July. What the young lady in the back, what good are you getting from these meetings, if any at all?
Ooh. From when I started coming here, the things that you pointed out in me, I didn't really think too much of it. I was like, no, I do these things for a reason. I know I am a good person because I do this, and that, but I never really dove deeper into why I even thought I was a good person or what even made me a good person.
Yeah.
Like these false things that I attached myself to that made me who I thought I was or what I thought was a good person. So it's been a good death for me of just like kind of unlearning a lot of the things that I've been doing. It's still a journey for me now, but it has been extremely helpful in that sense.
To add to what you said, the one thing that's going to happen if you stay with it, you're going to lose all identity of who you think you are or you're not. For some reason, you're just going to disappear, and you will have no self-image at all. Neither good nor bad, neither right or wrong or nice and unnice. You won't have any of those. They're going to disappear. Can you imagine living in this world with no image of yourself? There's nothing to keep up with. What do you think about that?
I think it's a big task looking at it that way of just living so empty in a way of just not carrying anything and just nothing to add. I found myself being a lot more honest.
Honest?
A lot more honest, like not being afraid of being honest.
Yes.
And that's very freeing because I used to be very afraid of being honest because they're like, oh, Shalisha, when you do da-da-da-da-da, it's this, and that. But I'm like, no, it's so much freer to just, having that ability to be honest.
That's beautiful because what you realize is that the people around you don't care anyway. They don't care about you. You don't care about them. Why not just live your life? Amazing. Nice. Yes. What good has it done you to come into me? How have you been helped?
Oh.
Did you have a question for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You had your hand. Go ahead.
The question first?
Yeah, your question for me.
Oh, okay. So, when we are born again, we're not sinners. You've taught that we've never done anything wrong.
Right. You're not neither a sinner or a saint. Can you
Sinner or
imagine
saint.
living a life knowing you're not a sinner? And so now you have to be trying to make yourself a saint? Going to the Catholic Church, wishing Mary on the wall? Go ahead.
And also in not identifying with the ego, the sinful nature, calling it like anger, the anger, or the whatever it is, whatever spirit it is,
Right.
rather than...
Speak up a little bit for me.
Rather than I'm nervous or I'm this, you say the nervousness or identify it.
Just say nervousness, but don't say I'm nervous.
Right. So I'm trying to understand when you say to the biblical question that the reason why evil is able to work with you, where the you is
right.
every individual, is because you are evil. So
right.
trying to understand how that is not identifying with that identity, which is evil, which is in many...
I was hoping someone would ask that question.
Yeah, because...
It's only because you have identified with evil, so evil can work with you.
Yes.
If you didn't identify with it, it would be in his head and emotion, but you wouldn't identify with it, it can't do anything. I'm sorry?
That's not what she means. She's saying,
oh.
She's saying something different.
Are you saying something, asking something different?
I'm trying to understand why you say because you are evil, and yet we are working on being awake to the fact that we're not, that instead we are not that.
So instead of saying the nervousness or I'm nervous, you're saying nervousness. She's saying instead of you saying you're evil, telling people you're evil or I'm evil, why not just say the evil?
Oh, because they have identified, so they are.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Or
because
to say
you have identified with it, so you are. Because you have identified with it.
So we're trying to wake up. Why not not say you're evil? Because if I wake up, then I shouldn't say that.
But now that I've told you that it can work with you because you identify with it,
because
you are
I am
evil.
Yes.
Now that you stop identifying with it, it can't do that.
Okay. Because you identify with evil.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's different from because you are evil. Because that sounds like an identity I must identify with to understand the question. I don't know if that makes sense.
Interpret.
Yeah, so she's saying that when you tell people you are evil, she's saying that's a way that you're making it seem as if that's now how we have to identify to make ourselves understand what's going on within. So she's saying that.
Are you from Africa?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder. No. Because you think that you are, and so it makes you evil because you've identified with evil.
But I no longer do that, and I'm trying not to ever do that again.
Okay, so you'll be fine then.
Okay.
I mean, we got to communicate, right?
We do, and the communication that sounds awake to me is when you say, because evil has made a home, so wake up and see it and don't identify with it. Then it kind of makes a reverse when you say, because you are, so then I'm like, okay, then I don't want to do
sometimes
that
you do
anymore.
say,
anybody have a joint?
Sometimes you do.
You have a no.
I understand when you say you have never done anything wrong.
Hate want to respond
right?
to this. No. You keep the mic. Okay. Oh, Joya, don't forget, we'll come back to you. Okay, finish that point, and then Hate want to respond.
No, that's it.
That's it?
Yes,
Okay,
but I wanted to answer whatever you were asking too.
I think people intellectually learn that it's not them, and so when you tell them it is them, they want to skip the pain of being evil, because they've learned that it's not them, and it feels more. I think that it feels more comforting to know that it's not you. To know intellectually that it's not you, it becomes like a comfort and you can relax, but you're still identifying with evil. And you're still identifying with evil, and you still are evil, but you're thinking, oh, it's not me, so you feel better.
Oh, just because you say it intellectually, that doesn't make it true. Because intellectually is just knowledge about it, right? But you got to get past the knowledge about it.
I understand that. I maybe if you can help me understand the illustration you always make when you say this was you when you were a child, and then when you got traumatized, the thoughts came. But I can clearly see that you being you has nothing to do with the thoughts and you being in them. I thought that's the whole point of realizing that God made you in His image, and then because you need to become aware that the thoughts are not you. That's the whole objective of all this. So I'm not sure whether finding the peace in the knowledge of it is intellectualism, because that's the reality, no? You knowing that God created you in His image, and you
But
ending up in the
intellectually knowing that God created you in His image, it's not knowing that God created you in His image. You just heard about it. It's just knowledge. It's when you see it, it becomes real. A whole bunch of people quote stuff intellectually. I hear people all up and down town quote what I say about it, but it's just knowledge. They don't really see it.
So does that mean that...
That's why you have to let knowledge go. Don't hold on to it. Just hear and let it go in one ear and out the other.
Okay.
Because you'll go around now saying, oh, I'm not evil. But it's just knowledge when you're still evil because you don't see it. That's why people give you knowledge, let the knowledge go so you can see the spirit of what's going on.
So how do you walk in the truth that you're not a sinner and yet you're evil too? How do you walk in that understanding?
How do you walk in the...
How does that make sense? You're not a sinner, and then you're evil. How do you...
It doesn't make sense to a person with knowledge. But I promise you, if you let the knowledge go, you heard the news, I'm not a sinner nor a saint, right? You hear that news.
Right.
But then don't lock into it and just stay there with that. Let that news pass so that you can see what that means.
Okay.
Because you are locked in with that news and you just have the knowledge. It's like people learn the knowledge of God, but that's all they have is the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. So how do you know then?
I'm sorry?
How would you know you know?
It will be revealed to you if you let the knowledge go and stay with it.
Okay.
Yes, Joe?
No, I mean, I was just trying to clear up what she's saying, but the language gets confusing when, like, for example, if you say, even though in the bigger picture, it's not important, but if you say human beings don't have love, but then you say human beings are evil, well, then it's like, or human beings have anger. But if we don't have love, then why do we have anger? So that's an example of the confusion that sometimes it sounds like you're saying. How do we have one and not have the other when we either have them or we don't have them, is the point.
I'm about to take a drink
If
now.
you have love...
I need a joint and a drink. I had a quick decision.
But if you have love, I'll make it simple. If you have love, then how do you have anger? If you don't have love, how do you have anger?
If you don't have love,
how do you have anger?
If you don't have love, how do you have anger?
Right. If human beings don't have love, how do they have anger?
Because they don't have love.
Right, but if you don't have love, then you shouldn't have anger. If it's
but you
not
gotta
us.
have one or the other.
But if we're not those identities, right? If we don't have love, then we can't also not have anger. But that's the language. That's
How
the
you
example
understand
of
that
what.
question? I honestly don't. I wish we had more time because everybody wanted to get in on this, right? Can we pick up on it next week? Can you suffer till then? Because I don't understand that question. It doesn't even sound like a normal.
You understand it.
Huh?
You understand it.
No, I don't. I don't understand that question. And it may be a common sense question. I see a lot of hands, so that means something wrong with that question. But no. Yes, last word. You've been waiting a minute, that's why.
Man, we're limited by language, and we're
Yeah,
talking
definitely,
about
for sure.
we're talking about abstract things, spiritual things, and everybody's not going to get it. Like, it's not meant for everybody to understand it.
That's a
so the
good
people
point.
that are meant to understand it, they'll understand it. You're not going to intellectualize your way into this. So
That's a very good point. With us talking about this, me talking about it, you talking about it, you can't understand it from me talking about it. You cannot, don't even try. You will not be able to understand by you hearing me talk about it. It's just knowledge when you hear it. There has to be an awakening inside of you that takes over from that knowledge, and it explains everything. It reveals everything to you. Not even explain, it allows you to see. That's a very good point. Because I'm sure that may be a system of question. I don't get that question. I really don't understand it. And we run out of time, and Nick, you had the last word since you're the anchor baby.
I think there is a way to do what you're talking about. Being, if I may, just if I'm understanding you're saying, how can we know that truth, that we're free, that we're not those things, but also square what he's saying about being evil? I think there is a way to do that, and that is if you were to accept what you're not and just not get mad about it, not judge it. If you're, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, let's say you saw evil in you or something. And like you saw it, you're like, oh, but I'm not evil. Jesse said, instead of conflicting with that, showing what you're talking about is accepting that. Just like, okay, you know what? I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I'm not just gonna say, I'm not evil, that's not me. No, I got mad at somebody.
Amazing.
In that moment, you're showing what you're talking about, I think.
Everybody just suffer that confused right now? Suffer for the rest of the week, and we'll do. Think about it. That'll be your assignment. Think about this crazy question. Well, nice question. No. But you make a point, it's the language I get. You can't be caught up with the language. It has to be something happening right now inside of you to confirm what's being said. But if you're caught up in your head about what's being said, you're not going to get it. It'll just be knowledge, intellectual knowledge. You can't add it up and figure it out. Don't even try to figure it out. Well, if I don't have anger, I must have love. If I don't have love, I must have... No. Don't try to figure it out that way. Really. We can't figure out the things of God. That can't be, well, if 2 + 2 is 4, then this must be the answer. The things of God cannot be figured out. I wish it could. Either it's revealed to you or it's not. And if you want it, though, it will be revealed. It will be revealed. So, amazing question. Thanks for screwing everything up at the end of the meeting. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Good question. Hassan, I know you want to add, but I'm so out of time. Bill's going to yell at me. I'm out of time. Do the silent prayer. Look, I've told you once, I told you twice. You got to practice being present, and all these things will be made clear to you. They really will, but you cannot learn it. You cannot add up 2 + 2 and think you have the answer. You cannot say, oh, I don't have anger, then I must have love. I don't have love, I must have... It doesn't work that way. You can't see the things of God unless they're revealed to you, all right? So do the silent prayer. Work on you. Commit to it. That's all you got to do. Let go and commit to the truth. As an individual, and you'll be fine. Don't forget to donate. Check out our merch and blah, blah, blah. We're going to do the super chats tomorrow, Monday. And no men's forum this week. It's the 4th of July this Thursday, so no men's forum, all right? Happy 4th of July to everybody. Be safe out there. An amazing meeting today. Thank you for that. And thank you all. Amazing. I appreciate the feedback. Amazing.